This will be for the con assignment, arc length. Okay, and all of these are going to have the central angle in degrees. All right, so there's going to be a formula for this we can use for every one of them. Okay, this is the arc length ratio and proportion when the central angle is in degrees. You let the arc length equal S and the circumference equal C. Okay, we know the circumference C equals 2 pi r. So this fraction is going to be the angles, and this fraction is going to be the circumference. The numerators are going to be the piece or portion of the circle, and the denominators are going to be the whole circle. So for the angles, the angle for the arc is going to be the central angle theta. Okay, that's the piece or portion. And the whole circle, once around a circle, is 360 degrees. For the circumference, the arc is a piece of the circumference. So the arc length S is in the numerator, and the whole circle, once around, is the circumference. Okay, so we're using this formula for every problem. If it helps you to remember, S is the arc length, and C, the circumference, equals 2 pi r. So you can use either one of these. It's the same thing. I just wrote it in a different way. All right. So here we have the first problem. Let's write the formula first every time so we don't forget. It's going to be theta over 360 equals S over C. Okay, so it says a circle with circumference 6 has an arc with a 60-degree central angle. So the circumference is C, and the central angle is theta. Okay, what is the length of the arc? The length of the arc is S. So that's what we're trying to solve for. Okay, we said theta is 60, and that's divided by 360. S we want to solve for, and the circumference C they said was 6. Okay, so from here you just cross multiply. Top times bottom is going to be 60 times 6. Bottom times top is 360 times S. All right, solving for S, you want to get rid of 360. Just divide both sides by 360. And it cancels over here. And S is going to be 60 times 6 over 360. Well, 60 times 6 is 360. And then divided by 360, that's just going to be 1. So S equals 1. That's your arc length. Okay, and that just goes in the box. All right, you can use the drawing if you want to, but everything in the drawing is in the write-up. All right, so we just found this arc length right here. That's the arc length. Okay. So a circle has circumference of 12. That's going to be C. It has an arc length of 11. That's going to be S. What is the central angle of the arc? That's going to be theta. All right? So our formula, theta over 360 equals S over C. Okay? So theta we're trying to solve for. We don't have it. S we said was 11. And C we said was 12. So cross multiply, top times bottom equals bottom times top. Okay, and theta is a Greek letter. It's the same as solving for x. To get rid of the 12, you divide both sides by 12. And it cancels here. And then just do this on the calculator. 360 times 11 equals divided by 12. So theta equals 330. And just enter that number in the box. Okay, let me see. So let's write our formula. Theta over 360 equals S over C. All right. The circle has a radius of 6, so that's going to be R, and a central angle of 48, that's going to be theta. What is the length of the arc? That's going to be S. All right, so we're solving for S. All right. So our central angle theta is 48, and that's divided by 360. We're solving for S. And for the circumference C, we have to find that from the radius. Okay, so remember that C equals 2 pi r. And you can use 3.14 for pi, or you can just leave it in terms of pi. I would say that's the easier way. All right, so I'm going to leave pi alone. Okay, so that's going to be 2 times pi times r, which is 6. Okay, and of course 2 times 6 is 12, and we still have pi. So in place of C, I'm going to write 12 pi. Okay, and now we can cross multiply. Top times bottom is 48 times 12 pi. Bottom times top is 360 times S. In order to solve for S, we divide both sides by 360. Okay, so again, we left pi alone, so I'm going to do 48 times 12 divided by 360. 48 times 12 divided by 360. And I get 1.6. And I still have pi. So it's just 1.6 pi. You can type pi, or you can click the pi symbol. All right. Theta over 360 equals S over C. Okay, a circle with circumference 6, that's C, has an arc with a 340-degree central angle, that's theta. What is the length of the arc? That's S. So we're solving for S. So theta is 340 divided by 360. We're solving for S, and C equals 6. And just cross multiply. Top times bottom. Bottom times top. In order to solve for S, we divide both sides by 360. And on the right, the 360s cancel. 340 times 6 divided by 360. All right. Let me see here. So I got a decimal, 340 times 6 divided by 360. Okay. Let me see if it says to round off here. What is the length of the arc? All right. I got 5.666667. Let me see if it takes it as 5.67. It might not, though. I think it's going to make me do a fraction. Okay, let me see. I know that 5.6667 equals 5 2/3. Okay, 5 times 3 is 15, plus 2 is 17. 17/3. It'll take that, maybe. 17/3. Oh, man. So I guess some of them you have to make it a fraction. All right. Let me see how they did that one. (17/3). Okay, so they reduced the fraction. All right. So look, if you have to reduce the fraction, let me see. I'll rewrite it. 340 over 6. Let me see. (340 times 6). That's 2040. That's 2040, and that's divided by 360. Okay, so enter this in the fraction reducer. 2040 divided by 360. Let me see if I can find it.